What was the most pleasant thing you found out about your so only after having moved in together? What did you not see coming at all about your so, but was a really pleasant surprise when you moved in together? He prepares a cup of tea so when I walk in the door from work he just has to add boiling water and it's ready. He's made me a tea each afternoon for 10 years. Without being asked. My husband likes to sit on the floor in his boxers, eat ice cream, and watch American television. It cracks me up because he repeats anything that catches his interest and then asks if he said it right and if it means what he thinks it means. His English is very good but slang is more difficult for him. It is so cute. We live in Florida and I am from Florida, he is from South Africa. He's a great cook, he does this belly tapping dance when it's snack time lol, he tucks me in if he's leaving in the morning and I'm still in bed, when I'm in the shower he will come sit on the toilet and just chat to me and give me a taste of whatever he is cooking. He sings whatever song is stuck in his head at the moment. And this one is major. He always tells me I'm beautiful every day even when I'm looking like a hobo 90% of the time I'm home. When he sits on the couch after work with a nice cup of coffee he is instantly happy because he's home. Almost a decade of consistent cute innocent little things. Can't pick one lol but super blessed to even know this human. If he gets home from work before me he usually goes to play video games until I get home, and when I do, he always comes out of our office, throws his arms up in the air and says my pet name Super Ayud and bear hugs me. It makes me feel so loved and wanted when he does. He's on deployment right now and the silence in our home is deafening. He wakes up an hour earlier than he needs to just so he can hang out with me in the morning. Yes, I do treasure him like the treasure that he is. He also baby talks to his 90 13-year-old dog. My heart. My husband and I are very independent, but he gets sad if I read in the other room. He comes to visit and asks about the book. One day it dawned on me that he wanted me to read in the living room with him, even if we don't talk. How handy he is. He has a broad understanding of a lot of things, so he can usually figure out stuff he doesn't know by troubleshooting. Our washer broke the first month we were living together, and he fixed it because he understood the concept, even though he's never done it before. He is quite innovative. If I want to do something but don't know how to execute it, he always seems to have a trick up his sleeve for me. Love that clever man. He sings all the time. Not annoying like Marshall in Hi Mem, he makes up lyrics to whatever tune is on. Silly/funny lyrics about what's happening, like my lovely wife is doing the dishes and now she's gonna give me a kiss. And do me next to the tune of whatever is on. His creative side. I knew he liked to write, but he has tons of scripts and screenplays, he's a huge cinephile, he's always tweaking and working on. I haven't read them, they're not ready and I respect the process, but he tells me about them. He also expressed his desire to one day learn guitar so T bought him one at Christmas. He's been constantly practicing and he's getting quite good. He likes to keep the house neat and tidy. I don't ask him to pick up after himself. He is Serbian and loves to sing the Toni Braxton song Unbreak My Heart. He can fold fitted sheets. By himself. And they look like neat little squares that fit in the cupboard properly. It's been a year and I am still in awe. His sense of aesthetics is phenomenal. Everyone was always like make sure you don't let him turn the place into a man cave, and he comes in and is like that vase would really make the dining room pop more if it had yellow flowers in it instead of purple and here, let me reorganize your bookshelves so they look sophisticated and professional instead of just rammed in there randomly. He's surprisingly caring. The way he helped his mother around the house, across the street made me fall in love with him even more. LD never seen any man treat anyone as gently as this. I had 2 cats when I met him, fast forward 3 years and we're married and moving in. He's loved my cats while dating and watched them when I was out of town. But now baby's the cats just like I do. He was sitting on the couch and my girl Moo jumps up and sits in his lap. He started gently petting her and saying Moo is the princess, she is the most beautiful in the land, she gets all the pets. My other cat Marshall is a total cuddle bug. He'll rub his face on you until you pay attention and give him pets. My husband calls him Lil Slim Shady, after Eminem. Marshall Madhurs, and boops his head whenever he walks by. The way he loves my babies, now our babies, made my heart melt. He's very musical. I knew he played saxophone, but since he moved in he's taught himself to play the ukulele and guitar. He also likes to drum. Also he baby talks to the cats we adopted. It's the cutest thing. He is a big strong welder, but man does he love his baby kitties. I travel a lot for work, and whenever I go out of town he gets lonely and bored, I think. He'll often buy electronics and other expensive stuff to keep him busy until I get home, and then surprises me with them. He bought a fish tank once and put fancy goldfish in it and waited for me to name them. He bought me a new laptop/tablet because mine was like 10 years old and I refused to replace it since it still sort of worked, but LDB grumpy about how certain apps were no longer compatible with it. He loaded up the new one and had it ready for everything I needed. Once he bought a new TV for our living room and made it all movie theater style for when I got home. Another time he bought a super fancy vacuum and went to town vacuuming all the crevices in our house that annoyed us. He knows I do not like to spend big and I struggle to make expensive decisions because of my anxiety, so it's like a win for him and for me because I can only laugh when I arrive home and something is already all set up. We moved into her tiny apartment and she has been so willing to move her things around to make space for my stuff. Even when space is so limited, she encourages me to make space for the things I'll enjoy and even makes those spaces herself. For example, when I'm feeling depressed, she will clear a spot on her favorite chair, bring whatever art project I'm working on, make me a cup of tea, and turn on a show for us to watch together. She is happy to let me make decisions but will offer her input and constructive criticism. She encourages me to be more assertive and will stand up for me when I can't be. She takes care of me when I'm sick or having a bad day. She also pays attention and streamlines my life without me asking or sometimes even noticing. For example, T thought wasn't drinking enough water or getting forgetful, but it turns out she's been secretly refilling my water bottle after I go to bed for years. I only just noticed now. She also does little things like order extra phone chargers for me and putting them places I hang out like my car and in the living room. She never gets mad and breaks anything of mine on purpose. She never yells at me. She never hurts my pets. She never forbids me from doing something. She does judge my fashion choices sometimes, like socks with sandals and fanny packs, but only jokingly. He scratches my back and puts me back to bed when I wake up from a stressful dream. He also airs me out when I start night sweating from making myself a burrito in the covers. I used to hate sleeping next to other adults. But with my current part, love it. He had surgery last summer with one night in the hospital. That night was weird and kind of lonely. He has a collection of small unusual music instruments. None of which he can really play well, but all of them a little. It's like a jaw harp, a kalimba, a ocarina, a carved flute and a few other instruments I don't know the name of. Sometimes he just grabs one of these and plays it for a few minutes. I knew of this collection before, but not that he randomly grabs one and plays it for a while. He is super sweet in the mornings and lets me sleep in while he works on school papers. When he hears me starting to stir, he brings me coffee and sits beside me on the bed. He gently teases me by calling me Angel of the Morning. He does this every morning and has the dog involved too, always bringing him on the bed for extra snuggles. He also is eager to please, and is not very handy, so when he does something he always asks for direction so he can do it the way I like. This is amazing because he can be super particular with cooking and cleaning, and it's cute because he seems to love to be told how to do things. He is very clean and seems to enjoy cleaning up after meals. He makes really good coffee each morning, and if our timing matches up, he'll prepare mine in the very specific way that I like. Also, he notices and appreciates my very particular, often aesthetic, preferences in terms of home decoration and comfort. He's very generous and attentive in ways that I didn't see until we lived together. He pees sitting down and I've never once found pee on or around toilet. Seems like a normal thing, but growing up I lived with two enthusiastic splashers and I hated it so fucking much. My boyfriend likes to sit in the shower after a long day of work. Not take a bath, just sits in the shower. I think it is very sweet. He sings to my cats, now his cats, about how much he loves them. Also, every time I leave the house he says, "Be careful with my wife." If he isn't awake to say it, he texts me to say it because according to him, How would I know to be careful with myself if he didn't tell me?